car you see behind us is our twin-turbo 350Z race car. The car's got a lot of history behind it, which most people don't know about. Obviously now it is an out-and-out purpose-built race car, specifically more of a time attack or circuit racing car. But the interesting part around the project is that in 2016 the car was involved in the floods in Edenvale. The car was actually at a panel beater just for touch-ups on the front and rear bumper from some stone chips. And the floods hit and the car was completely written off. It was completely submerged with another car half on top of it and basically lost to the flood completely. We had water in the engine block, water in the intercooler, completely flooded, mud, plastics. There was actually a plastic recycling place behind the panel beater. The car was covered in plastic, in the dash, under the dash. You cannot understand how easily the water gets in everywhere. At that stage it was a road going car. It did have the twin turbo APS Extreme turbo kit on it, as well as HKS engine management, forged motor and a number of other accessories. So it was quite a special car, made some nice power, fun car to drive, and it was very sad day when the car was lost to the flood. The advice I received was basically to forget the car, leave it, I'm looking for problems, never going to get it back to where it was. But in my mind I had a vision for the vehicle. You know, it had a lot of parts that could be brought back. Engine block could be bored and honed and everything. We re-sleeved the block as an example, even though it had water damage. And my vision for the car was to build something really wild, a really wild 350Z circuit car with basically every part, almost throw the catalogue at it, but in a way that it's functional, not just throw the catalogue at it because it looks cool or because it's going to be functional and extremely quick and handle like something next level. And that's basically what I think we've achieved. So as I mentioned, the engine was originally forged and it did have the APS Extreme Turbo kit on it. We've salvaged the turbo kit, although we had because they were waterlogged, upgraded as well so we can run higher boost levels, forged pistons, forged rods, stock crank, full AEM electronic system. Specifically went for AEM as opposed to what we normally do, which is Haltech, because I wanted the integrated lap timer in the digital dash. Lots of sensors, all the engine protection for oil pressure, fuel pressure, air intake temperatures. We've done all that stuff. We removed the ABS unit, so we're running sort of more a race car setup, which is just direct pedal. Still got the booster in, upgraded radiator as well. Bigger oil cooler. Interesting story was when we had the intercooler sandblasted, because my vision was to ceramic coat everything in the engine bay, which is the red sort of speckle or rough textured coating you see. I wanted to do the intercooler as well. Things like the dump valve and all of that is pretty much all standard from the kit that originally came from APS. Car's got all BF Goodrich fittings for all the braided lines and everything. Everything is braided lines for turbo feeds, all of that stuff. So all the wiring was done by a friend of mine, did a really nice job. Everything is mil spec. It's got the APS upgraded sump. It's got the APS Extreme Turbo exhaust system. I elected to keep a lot of that stuff, A, because it's functional and worked really well on the car originally, and B, for example, the exhaust just sounds epic, so we didn't want to change that. There was no reason to change it. We've got it only on 0.6 bar and it's making 302 kilowatt on the wheels. It's quite wild. Obviously, being a forged motor, we could turn it up to a bar, 1.2 bar. It's already pretty unruly. I think the sweet spot for power would probably be around the 350 mark. Then it'll be stupid fast, but still manageable. My original vision for the car was actually to sort of a race car with the creature comforts, but I decided after a little bit of thought we'd dump the aircon and stuff like that for weight and just complexity and things like that. But we did keep a little bit of that vision, like the car's got full door panels, full dashboard. A really cool feature which my legendary team in Ace Custom, specifically Tremaine Mad Skills May, built the door panels, which actually the roll cage fits into the door panel. So the two sort of merge when you close the door. When we built this car, I need to mention that we weren't a Sparco agent, so everything is OMP. It's got full OMP harnesses, OMP champ seats, OMP steering wheel. As usual, we got a lot of fabrication work for the battery box, floor panels, all that type of thing. Panel for electric windows, another creature comfort I elected to keep, electric windows. We do have a map switch on the AEM, although we haven't configured multiple maps at this stage. We might still look at doing traction control and launch control and that type of thing, but that'll be a phase 2 of the build. Something that is the first time we've done it is on this car is the CAE shifter, which is, I'm absolutely blown away by. Awesome piece of kit, just makes the gear shift, it's next level. It just feels race car, and it is so short and so sharp. Absolutely awesome. A full fire system as well. Obviously full roll cage. Yeah, and then lots of other little touches on the door panels and everything. We even tried to match the materials of the seat on the door panels. Door pulls OMP as well. You'll see there's a lot of badges on the car for FrankenZ. So as usual, always, it might be a race car for us, but it's a show car. So lots and lots of details, which honestly, I can't even remember all the stuff we've done on the car. It has got the AM digital dash molded into the binnacle of the stock dash. On the suspension side, we also threw the SPL Parts catalog at it. SPL Parts is a company we've used before in the US who have absolutely phenomenal suspension parts. So it's got full solid bush kit. Some of the bushes are actually titanium. It's got adjustable rear suspension. It's got adjustable front control arms. Standard 350Z, because it's a double wishbone type sort of design, you can't adjust camber on the car. So we've got adjustable top control arms, which allows us to adjust camber, which is obviously very important for racing. It's got every link and connect and bar and whatever you want to allow this car to be set up by stringing the car, camber, caster, everything is ultra super configurable. The power band is very linear, so although it's making a lot of power and it is rear wheel drive, it's not scary to drive actually. Obviously if you climb on it, it'll step out, and that actually makes the car really enjoyable to drive. Back to the suspension, stock front and rear sway bars. It does have BC Racing ER coilovers, which were actually on the car originally before the flood happened. And then a lot of other little details on the car, which on the exterior, obviously the shark mouth idea was sort of just something that came to me, just thought it would be cool. We've got the carbon bonnet, which is imported from the States. We've got APR carbon mirrors, carbon wing specifically designed for the 350Z from APR in the US. So the side little quarter windows, the rear window, and the knacker ducts, that all comes from a company in the UK. My legendary business partner Grant built us an epic baffled fuel cell, which actually integrates the Nismo stock fuel pump. He integrated it into the fuel cell. We do have the big front splitter supported by the rear diffuser, also made in carbon. That comes from a company in the UK. The splitter and obviously the diffuser and the rear wing all work in harmony in aerodynamics. I'm no aerodynamic expert, but maybe at some point we'll actually get some analysis done on the car and see how well the aero is working and tweak that further. Something that is very special on the car is the R34 GTR wheels. Just look epic on the car, such iconic wheels, really suit the car. Also got Mishimoto aluminium wheel nuts. Those we actually only use for shows. Of course, wheels are no good without great tires, so our usual go-to tire, Bridgestone RE11S, amazing tire. Really great grip with the testing we've done so far on the car, even with the basic suspension setup we've got. So at this stage, although the car is still in development, we are very happy with the outcome of the project, and I'm very pleased to say that the vision I had in my mind, we managed to actually, I think, even exceed my own expectations as far as the vision I had in my mind. Special thanks, of course, to the Ace Customs Racing team in Nailstrom. That's Grant, Neelis and Justin, for all the work that went into the car with the motor build and a lot of the fabrication work. Massive thanks to my epic sidekick Tremaine Mad Skills May for helping me assemble the car, and all the interior fab work and all that type of stuff, and anyone else that I'm forgetting that helped in building the car and making what was a very sad story into something very special.